Alright, so Modern is a bunch of aggro decks, it looks like. Played against 2 Infect and 3 Zoo decks, which is, I would expect a little bit more variety than that, but it kind of is what it is. I don't mind it, and my deck is kind of built to try and beat up on those decks, and we did a pretty good job. Lost once to the Zoo deck, but we didn't draw Anger, Timely, Nahiri, or Ancestral in any of the 3 games, I believe. I think we, scryed into an Ancestral super late in one of the games. But other than that, there are definitely a lot of cards that we could draw to kind of lock the game up, and we just didn't, which is going to happen sometimes. So, Infect is close, but the deck with Path and Bolt is favored. There's a lot of play to the matchup. The Zoo matchup is a little bit more straightforward, and certainly those 5 decks. I mean, I have 4 Path, 4 Bolt, a bunch of other removal. Those decks are certainly things that are on my radar, certainly things that I want to try and beat. And the matchups that are tough are like the combo decks, Scape Shift ad nauseum. I kind of count Tron in that category too, which is why we have the mana leaks, just because I think those are better in the bad matchups, and they're also better than Remand against things like Zoo and Infect, so that's kind of nice too. Remand just looks like pretty bad in Modern as a whole right now. Just not very effective when everyone's spells are so cheap. But I do like this deck. I like the fact that Nahiri just kind of closes the door very quickly. Gives you something to work towards against aggro decks that kills them very quickly. And then against the mid-rangey decks, it just kills them in two turns, however you want to look at it. So I still like the Nahiris. I do like the Emrakul. And I like everything else that's going on. My sideboard could still use some work, but it's possible the 3rd Spreading Seas doesn't need to be there. But again, that helps in some of the bad matchups. I could have used a little bit more extra sideboard stuff for little creatures, which I did say in the deck tech I was a little concerned about. But, I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, this is actually different than the one I started with. I think I cut a Seas for a Helix, which would have been nice. I'm just now noticing that since I switched accounts. I loaded a deck where I think I did cut a Seas for a Helix. So oops, should have had a Helix in those last 3 rounds, but didn't. Had an extra Spreading Seas instead. So my mistake. But yeah, the Helix could be basically anything. The sideboard could really be basically anything. I do like the Jace Bellerin though. I think you should try the Jace Bellerin. I think it's good. But yeah, Jeskai Nahiri, still great. Team MGG repped it pretty well in Dallas last week, so that was sweet. It was good to see that this deck is performing pretty well on the SCG Tour, and I like it. This is kind of my Modern go-to deck right now. So if you're interested in killing creatures, drawing cards, killing people with giant spaghetti monsters, check it out.